Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod Science classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 3rd May 2021. And one thing I want to say is today's newspaper is mainly based on election results. So if you belongs to that state, just go through that. It is based on your interest, but it is not useful for UPSC. So what is regarding UPSC, what is important regarding UPSC, we are going to discuss in this lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss 6 topics that are very much relevant to UPSC. So let's get started with our discussion and let us see first article. Title says fix oxygen deficit by May 3 set a buffer stock. So this is a statement or order which is given by Supreme Court to government. So why Supreme Court gave orders to government here? So because of this increased COVID-19 cases, so there is increased demand for oxygen. But we are saying there is lack of oxygen supply. So because of this lack of oxygen supply, there are many people who are losing their lives. Okay, so right to health, which also comes under integral part of right to life, which comes under Article 21 of Indian Constitution, right? So because of this, Supreme Court gave this order to government, mainly to fix oxygen deficit by May 3 and to set up buffer stock. So this is about some background regarding this article, and this article will be important regarding polity point of view, which comes under GS paper 2, and this article is also important regarding health, which comes under GS paper 2. So now let us try to discuss this topic in a very great detail. So if you see, this article mainly talking about oxygen deficit. So if you see context, it mainly says that Supreme Court in an order, it mainly directed central government to ensure that deficit of oxygen to treat COVID-19 patients in national capital region. So it mainly said that here government need to come up with this deficit of this oxygen supply in national capital region. Okay, and it said that this deficit need to be rectified on or before May 3rd. So if you are talking about some important details that are given in this article, it mainly says that Supreme Court ordered center to act in collaboration with states to prepare a buffered stock of oxygen for emergency purposes. So for emergency purposes, we need to also maintain some buffered stocks of this oxygen. So this oxygen is very helpful to save lives who are suffering from this COVID-19, right? So because of this, here Supreme Court also ordered government to maintain some buffered stocks. Okay, and next one is Supreme Court also said that to decentralize the location of emergency stocks here, and emergency stocks shall be created within next 4 days. So these are some important directions that are given by Supreme Court to center. And now let us talk about next article. Title says don't discriminate in vaccination. So this article mainly talking about COVID-19 vaccination, right? So why this COVID-19 vaccination is in use? So now you are in phase 4 or new phase of this COVID-19 vaccination. Now here more than 18 years of people, they can register in CoWIN platform and they can get their vaccines, right? So in this context, central government also said that there is 50% of procurement of vaccines by center and 50% of vaccines they can be procured by state government and as well as private hospital and also some institutions, okay, industrial institutions here directly from manufacturers. So because of this, this article mainly says that there is no discrimination that is seen in vaccination. Okay, so this is some important background regarding this topic. And now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So this article will be important regarding health and governance, which comes under GS paper 2. So now let us talk about context first. Supreme Court ordered that vaccination being provided to citizens constitute a valuable public good here. So mainly to tackle this COVID-19 pandemic, so we need to improve or we need to increase our vaccination rollout, right? So because of this, recently government took decision like more than 15 years, whoever the citizens of India who attain this 18 years of age, they can register in CoWIN platform and they can go for taking vaccinations here, right? So whenever we are increasing our vaccination, that means number of people who are taking this vaccination is increasing, then there is increased chances of decreasing transmission of this coronavirus, and in turn we can save number of lives here, right? So because of this Supreme Court order is very important. Supreme Court ordered that vaccination have been provided to citizens. They constitute some valuable public good here. In this context, there should be no discrimination in this process of giving vaccination. So this is context. And if you see some important details regarding this topic, it mainly says that Supreme Court said discrimination cannot be between different classes of citizens here. Okay. So because now we are in COVID-19 situation here, each and every people, they need this vaccination mainly to avoid or mainly to prevent this transmission of this coronavirus and to save their lives here. So in this context, in this valuable public good, there is no need of discrimination. We need not go for discrimination mainly on different classes of our citizens here. Okay. Supreme Court mainly said that central government will have to carry burden of providing free vaccines of 45 years for 45 years, and state government, they will discharge responsibility of providing vaccines for 18 to 44 years of age group here. So this is recent decision. So because of this, there might be some discrimination that is seen in this vaccination. So because of this, Supreme Court gave this orders to central government here. So why Supreme Court gave this decision? Because right to life, which comes under right to life, which mainly talks about this Article 21, right? Article 21 talks about right to life and personal liberty. So here right to health is also integral part of this Article 21, that is right to life itself. So because of this, central government need to procure all vaccines, and it need to negotiate with the prices with vaccine manufacturers here, and finally it will go for allocation of vaccines to state governments, and these state governments, they need to carry distribution of these vaccines. So these are some important directions which are given by Supreme Court. And now let us see next article. Title says Delhi gets one more Oxygen Express. So this article mainly talking about Oxygen Express, and you need to know some facts regarding what is this liquid medical oxygen, because you can get some prelims based questions regarding this liquid based oxygen. So this article will be important regarding science and technology and as well as health, which comes under GS paper 2 and GS paper 3. So now let us try to discuss this article in a very great detail. So if you see this article mainly talking about Oxygen Express. So what is context? Here Indian Railways said that it received its second Oxygen Express with 120 tons of liquid medical oxygen. Okay. So here second medical oxygen express received by Delhi here, okay, recently, and it also says that, okay, it also says that it contains about 120 tons of liquid medical oxygen. Okay, and third one, which is mainly to get about 30.88 tons of oxygen here. Okay, so in this context, Indian Railways mainly announced that they had delivered so far 1094 tons of liquid medical oxygen in 74 tankers across country. For example, 174 tons to Maharashtra, 430 tons to Uttar Pradesh, and 156 tons to MP, and next one is 190 tons to Delhi and 79 tons to Haryana. So this is data which is given by Indian Railways. So now let us talk about some facts regarding what is this liquid medical oxygen. So if you are talking about this liquid medical oxygen, so it is one of high purity oxygen, and this oxygen mainly useful for even medical use for human bodies. Okay, and it is mainly used for many medical treatments also. So because of this WHO, that is World Health Organization, it included this medical oxygen under list of essential medicines. And this one is even according to Drug Price Control Order 2013, it placed this medical oxygen, that is liquid medical oxygen, under national list of essential medicines also. So these are some important facts that you should remember regarding this liquid medical oxygen. So now let us see what is reason for crisis. So under this reason for crisis, you need to remember 4 important reasons. For example, the first one is distance of production plants here. So most of these production plants of this liquid medical oxygen, they are seen in eastern region here. So because of this, whenever we want to transport this oxygen from these areas to other areas, so it mainly leads to some transportation hurdles here, okay, and time around to reach this one tanker to other places regarding south or north, it will take about 6 to 7 days. So this is first important thing. And second one is there are limited tankers which are present here. there are about 1224 LMO, that is liquid medical oxygen tankers are available here. And next one is, if you are talking about cumulative capacity, it is about 16,732 metric tons of this liquid medical oxygen. So we have less number of tankers to transport this oxygen. And next one is, companies are not buying cryogenic tankers. So whenever we want to transport this liquid medical oxygen from one place to another place here, so this can be transferred only by using some cryogenic tankers, because this medical oxygen that can be stored in a very, very low temperature, that is about minus 180 degrees Celsius. So what happens whenever any companies, they are going for purchasing of these cryogenic tankers, this investment will be not viable here. It will not get good returns to that company. So because of this, companies, they are not investing in this buying of cryogenic tankers. And next one is, whenever we are transporting here, there are also some problems like leakage, and as well as there will be some irrational use regarding this oxygen that is seen. So these are some important challenges or important issues why we are seeing deficit of this oxygen now. And now let us see next article. Title says India receives aid from Taiwan. So this article will be important regarding international relations. Okay. And this topic will be important regarding both prelims and mains. So from prelims point of view, you need to know geography of this Taiwan, where exactly it is present, and you have to open your atlas and you have to see about this Taiwan. And next one is regarding mains, you can expect question like, what are India and Taiwan areas of cooperation? In which areas India and Taiwan, they are mainly focusing. Okay. So in this way, you can expect some mains based question regarding India-Taiwan relations. So now first let us see map. So here we have India, here we have China here, right? So here we have Taiwan, okay? Taiwan, it is present here, and here we have Korea, here we have Japan, Philippines, Malaysia, okay? So all these countries are present here. So we are focusing on Taiwan, which is present here, okay? And it is an island nation. So now let us try to discuss about this article in a very great detail. So this article mainly talking about India-Taiwan relations. So what is context here? India received some assistance from Taiwan. They include some oxygen concentrators, cylinders, and as well as we got some more batches of medical equipment from Taiwan. So Taiwan is also providing assistance to India here. So if you're talking about first batch, it sent about 50 oxygen concentrators and 500 oxygen cylinders here. Okay. So this article mainly says as both countries, that is India and Taiwan, they are monitoring developments, and as well as they are holding in-depth discussion regarding how to tackle this COVID-19 pandemic. An important aim of this assistance here is to provide some requisite support to Indian friends. Okay. And next one is, this assistance mainly shows some close collaboration and as well as partnership across multiple agencies on both the sides. So this is significance of this move. And now let us talk about India-Taiwan relationship. So we are going to see some background, some facts regarding this, okay? So if you are talking about India-Taiwan relationship, we do not maintain formal relationship with Taiwan actually, okay? We do not have any formal diplomatic relationship with Taiwan. So because of this, areas of cooperation between India and Taiwan, they are very much limited. If we can say like it is negligible political relations that we are having with Taiwan here. So if you are talking about history from 1995 to 2004, bilateral trade turnover has grown many-fold. Okay, that is from 934 million to now we are having 5.91 billion. So from 1995 to 2004, we are increasing our bilateral trade between India and Taiwan. And if you are talking about technology point of view, more than 30% of ongoing government funded joint research projects that are happening, okay, between India and Taiwan. And in 2015 here, so we got one important largest hardware manufacturing company, that is Foxconn. In Foxconn, it is one of important largest hardware manufacturing company in the world here. It announced to invest about $5 billion in India. And next one is in 2018. So India and Taiwan signed this bilateral investment agreement here, okay. So the trade ties between these two countries that have been expanded since 2018, and Taiwan has for long been a world leader here regarding high technology hardware manufacturing, and can also contribute for Make in India program in India, and as well as Digital India, and as well as smart cities in India. And next one is Taiwan's agro technology and food processing technology are very beneficial for Indian agriculture sector. So these are some important relationship, that is background of India-Taiwan relationship. And now let us talk about next article. Title says US agrees to prisoner swap, Iran state TV. So this article mainly talking about prisoner swap. So what is meaning of this prisoner swap? So as we know, these prisoners, they are mainly present inside bars, that is in jails, prisoners are present. So US came up with one prisoner swap with Iran here. So US will give money to Iran and Iran in return it will release prisoners. So this is called as prisoner swap in short. So this article will be important regarding GS paper 2 under international relations. So now let us try to discuss this article in a great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that Iran will be free prisoners with Western ties in Iran, okay, in exchange for billions of dollars from US and UK. So here UK and US, they are giving some $1 billion to Iran. Iran in return, it will be releasing prisoners. It is called as prisoner swap. And if you are talking about some details which are given in this article, it mainly says that Iran state TV said a deal made between US and Tehran. So in this deal, prisoner swap in exchange for release of about $7 billion in frozen Iranian funds. So as we know, between Iran and US there is tension which is going on, and they are going to negotiate regarding this Iran's nuclear deal again, right? So because of this here, because of this violations of Iran regarding this Iran's nuclear deal, US came out as from this Iran's nuclear deal, and now new US president, that is US administration in America, so it want to come up with this Iran's nuclear deal again. It want to join this IND, that is Iran's nuclear deal again. So what happened here now? Mainly US state TV said that, so there is a deal made between US and Tehran here regarding prison swap in exchange to $7 billion, okay. And if you are talking about this article, it also said that Americans accepted to pay $7 billion and swap for 4 Iranians. And UK also decided to pay about Euro 400 million to Iran to see release of British Iranian, that is Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe. Okay, so these are some important details regarding this article, and I hope it is clear now. Now let us see next article. So before seeing this article, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. If you want to clear UPSC in 2022, we came up with one excellent, highly beneficial course, that is Current Affairs package along with mains answer writing practice. So how this course will be useful to clear UPSC 2022? So one thing you need to remember here is before entering into examination hall, you need to know at least 1.5 years current affairs for sure. And this is right time to join this course to cover this 1.5 years current affairs in a comprehensive manner. And next one is mains answer writing practice. Many students who are freshers, who are especially beginners, they ignore this mains answer writing practice. So because of this ignoring mains answer writing practice, even though if they have clear prelims, they cannot clear mains without proper answer writing skills. So to clear UPSC mains, you need to improve your answer writing skills. And in this course, we are focusing exactly on how to improve your answer writing skills. And next one is, if you join this course, we conduct prelims test on every Sunday. This will be helpful for evaluation of yourself, assessment of yourself. Okay, so in this way, this course will be very useful to clear UPSC, and this course is designed as per demands of UPSC. So finally, I want to say one thing, please don't take this course as a choice. Try to join this course as soon as possible and achieve your dream of clearing UPSC. So for further details, link which is given in description box, so please visit that once. And if you want to talk to me directly regarding this course, you can talk to me on this number 8074765513. Okay, and now let's come back and let us see next article. Title says image can't be better than reality. So this article mainly talking about World Press Freedom Day. So every year we are celebrating this World Press Freedom Day on May 3rd every year. So today is World Press Freedom Day. I want to wish you a very happy World Press Freedom Day. Okay, so we are going to celebrate this World Press Freedom Day every year on this March 3rd here. So in this context, you need to know background regarding this day and what are important objectives or significance of this day, and you need to know why this is in news now. So this article mainly says that because of this global pandemic now, so these journalist freedom that is mainly curtailed here. So there is increased plight of this journalist that is seen. So now we are going to see what is written in this article, and also we are going to see one important report, that is World Press Freedom Index of 2021 also. So now let us try to discuss about this topic, and this topic will be important regarding GS paper 2. Okay, so now let us try to see this article in a great detail. So this article mainly talking about World Press Freedom Day. So this day mainly observed on 3rd May every year. So if you are talking about origin and purpose of this day, so this day proclaimed by United Nations General Assembly in December 1993, followed by recommendations of UNESCO General Conference. So after this UNESCO General Conference, according to recommendations of this UNESCO General Conference, United Nations General Assembly proclaimed this day, okay, and we are celebrating this day, that is March 3rd every year, as this World Press Freedom Day. Okay, so this day mainly acts as a reminder to governments of the need to respect their commitments to press freedom. And what is the importance of this day? So first one is, this day provides an opportunity to celebrate some fundamental principles of our press freedom, and this also provides opportunity to access the state of press freedom throughout the world. And this one is, this gives opportunity mainly to defend media from attacks on their independence. And even this day will helps to pay tribute to journalists who have lost their lives in lines of the duty, right? So this is significance or importance of this day. And if you're talking about this, because of this global pandemic COVID-19, so this COVID-19 hit almost all sectors worstly, right? Even construction, economy, health, each and every sector that had affected by this COVID-19. Okay, so because of this hit and altered lives of journalists here, so press freedom components are mainly importantly 4 press components. So if you want to see how this press is mainly maintaining some freedom, so we can assess 4 components here. First one is intrinsic value, second one is information role, and next one is protective role, and also constructional contributions. So these are some important role which is mainly played by this press here. So because of this, now press became a bedrock for equitable development. So without this press here, we don't know what is happening around us. So we can't go for constructive criticism of steps which are taken by government. So because of this will be playing an important role for equitable development in country. Okay. So if you're talking about journalists, so now in this COVID-19 pandemic, they bring to light the reprehensible disintegration of basic healthcare facilities. Like, they are often reporting from field wherever there are some deaths, wherever there are some hospitals, they are going and they are reporting about conditions of this COVID-19 patients in hospitals, and as well as how the testing is going on. So everything they are often reporting from field, and as well as they are standing outside hospitals, and as well as mortgage, okay, and as well as cremation grounds. So they are mainly going to practical, and they are going and they are recording from field here. So because of this, these people, they have maximum chances to for this transmission of this coronavirus. But if you're talking about central and state governments, they are not extending all facilities which are provided for frontline workers for this journalist. So this is the thing which is mainly said in this article. And now let us talk about World Press Freedom Index 2021. India's rank is 142 out of 180, and this index will be published every year by not-for-profit organization, that is Reports Without Borders. So this is very, very important. And if you're talking about reasons why here we got less rank, because journalists, they are exposed to every kind of attack. For example, we can talk about police violence against reporters, and as well as some political activists, they are also showing some violence, and attacks by some criminal groups or corrupt local officials as well. And journalists, they have often been subjected to coordinated hate campaigns. So these, if at all, they are particularly very much violent when they target women. So this is about gist of this topic. I hope it is clear now. So now let us see today's mains question. Comment on the findings of World Press Freedom Index 2021 on India. So please refer about some facts regarding this World Press Freedom Index 2021 and please comment on this report findings. So by this we are concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to enroll this current affairs package. Thank you so much.